it does seem to be a calling difference as well. You know, Jerry is showing so many different dimensions and whatnot. HONORIS on the other hand, a lot more gimmicky, right? We saw a lot of calls from spawns. We saw some faster A side executes on Ancient and whatnot. And those work, you know, but they're not going to work for an entire half. And then when you don't have the plan B, you don't have the rounds.
Yeah, when it stopped working, it really showed. Now we have to hope that HONORIS can impress on Inferno, a map that they're not shy of picking themselves, but they have not had a good time of it lately. I think currently sitting at a 33% win rate in their 21 maps played. So hope there's a different look coming into this matchup against forZe. Maybe they can threaten a third in the series. CT side start, kit on Lunatic, and a smoke as well. And it is a B-sided stack here for HONORIS. If forZe fall into it, they'd be in for a nasty surprise.
Oh, with the smoke down. Question is, how do you read into that smoke, though? They do counter out with their own executes. Lunatic trying to spam through. The remaining players not really revealing themselves at all. The bad time is coming their way, but can they wind back the clock? Reiko traded out very quickly. SaMey, good for 1, make it 2, and why not 3 while you're at it? forZe will be forfeiting out that pistol run just by running into the stack.
Yeah, great shooting there from SaMey. A player that was unaccounted for, wasn't sure if that was going to be extra presence. And the stack call from HONORIS, very well placed. See if shalfey can take at least a few more players with him, because this round is looking like a done deal.
Nice change to see a stack actually working out. We saw like 5 stacks on, maybe 4 actually, on Ancient, where
none of them worked.
Literally none of them.
Yeah.
It's not even like they didn't work as in they didn't win the round. They didn't work as in no one went to the stack.
Yeah. Couldn't even just overwhelm one player. You know, those were safe calls to rush the other side of the map instead. A good way to get out of the doom and gloom potentially of going into the lower bracket. Correct call. Maybe this is a map where we can see both Lunatic and Taz share ideas on how to best Jerry and the crew.
What did you say? What?
Jerry and the crew.
Ah, okay. I thought you said germinate the crews. What?
Biology? I remember learning about germinating seeds.
Like 4th grade or something.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, for now, forZe have got 3 players knocked down to, you know, a bit lower. I've got no pair up with 4th grade, to be honest.
Or germination, to be fair. You know, it's a hard transition. If we were talking about Sprout, maybe.
Who knows? Sobol, though. Good positioning for him coming through. Taz as well just covers off, and this late lurk will be discovered. SaMey as well, quick to hit through. Nicely played. Solid stuff, considering that there was some, you know, bare bones investment for forZe as well. And keeping all 5 of your players alive, this is a great start for HONORIS.
Yeah, very controlling. You know, conceded some space, but took proper account of the angles they had to be concerned about. And so forZe just fall right into the setup. Yeah, really well rehearsed. Deal with that pistol play. So now forZe come in with even less. It's round number 3. That force fire would make it look like they need. Nice to see HONORIS pulling in with a precedent. Deep and out of control being threatened even in a round like this. I'm sure this flash could be great here for KRAD, but firepower will not be the stronger part of the forZe attack. Could fall right into that MP9, and there's money to be made. Reiko's not even sticking around, so... Oh, no, and he's back.
I'm very careful over here, Reiko. Money to be made or not. I mean, listen, he's been spotted out initially. Flashbang to make sure that they can't pursue in, but there's still plenty of room to try and make the move. These tech knives can be deadly. Lunatic, however, starts off very strong. Reiko only good for the 1, so despite the money to be made on the CT side, there seems to be quite a bit over here for the T's as well. Plant as well as the MP9. And look, that grenade, the Molotov make it. So, oh my god, shalfey! What a shot coming out from him! If he'd just taken a bit longer to go for the reload, maybe there was another chance. But everything Honor has gained by keeping all 5 players alive in the previous seems like they might have just lost it.
Yeah, I mean, this is more than you bargained for if you're going up against this anti-eco. Down to a one-on-one. Shalfey, some lovely shooting on that Deeg. And kind of sets up forZe for this gun round because, like you said, the extra money that was made, it's all going to be respent. So if forZe win this round, they could very well topple the CT economy in consecutive rounds themselves.
Lots of early utility coming out towards top of banana from forZe, but HONORIS will be countering out with their own, and this is going to be resources dominating Sobol. What's going on here? Reiko gets boosted onto the wall while he tries to go for the peek backwards after hearing the Molotov being extinguished and presence potentially being there, but it's completely nailed in the head.
Yeah, I wonder if there was extra utility as well spotted there from forZe. Setting up on that boost just as 2 is a little risky, so yeah, lean over towards the A bomb site is cold for forZe. Same as HONORIS. They had Lunatic rotate in, trusting Taz to lock down the B side. So long as Taz doesn't fall here, this is a very contestable round. Yeah, Jerry falling victim to that AWP, and KRAD loud about how he retreats. Bomb can get down, but back into this 3-on-3, when they found 2 entries to start off this round, it could very well turn on its head, but Taz loud on the flank. KRAD hyper-aware and letting him pass.
Freebie for KRAD's already been lined up. Oh no! Okay, no, I mean, listen, at least he gets the kill.
Yeah.
Could have been a nice trigger discipline moment. HONORIS could have been hunted down, but it's okay.
Yeah, could have set himself up there for 2 kills potentially if they were sort of going to link up on short or something of the sort, but yeah, it's fine. Getting that 1 kill does finish off business. forZe in with their first round to break the ice here on the T side, but HONORIS saving these weapons has significance. SaMey enough cash to drop a weapon over. They can invest in MP9s and maybe even pistols if they want to favor utility. And they'll do exactly that. Actually, another A1S. Wasn't sure if they're going to be able to squeak that one out, but threatening buy nonetheless. A stand to be taken here from HONORIS, lest forZe suddenly take control of this game. Cannot concede these opening picks as quickly as they did the last round.
Creeping forward, Taz. MP9 trying to set up the crossfire with Sobol. It's a difficult angle to work off of. Sobol will be backing off because of it as well. Flashes initially avoided. Second one overhead, though. And that's going to be Taz, who has to be very careful. What?
I didn't hear a flash pop. I don't know what
yeah.
Don't know what happened to that.
Maybe just some packet loss from the GoTV server. Strange.
Thought for a second it might have been a decoy.
Yeah, it threw me off there.
Yeah, but no shots being fired means that it's not a decoy. It's all good. No space on the belt for an extra nade like that. But they have been able to push HONORIS back in spite of the good timing on the smoke and the presence there from forZe. Now a smoke over to long means Taz will be denied. So brackets control can be established.
SaMey dodges out the first flash. Second one will get him. That means that there is a safe descent down into the lower pit. This adjustment is great, but the problem is he's losing out all of his teammates, and Jerry's not really doing him any favors on the rotates either. SaMey, good for 2, but eventually will fall, and that is again going to be a safe call coming through from Lunatic. So again, HONORIS keep a hold of their sides, keep a hold of their wits for quite a long time, but unfortunately when it comes to the actual scaling into the bomb site, forZe just overruns them.
Great communication there from Jerry as well. He made contact. He was trying to go through the long smoke as Taz was trying to do simultaneously. And I think he relayed over that they were butting heads to a certain degree. Zorte went back to cover it. And as soon as he got that kill on Taz, Jerry took the space into the arches. And you're just never expecting Jerry to be that close. The rotates were completely siphoned and cut off. A slow work over towards this A site, but like you said, you know, that AWP, while it had a nice adjustment, very much a committed angle, and once he gave it up, just overwhelmed. One weapon saved means Lunatic can offer us up something, at least in this round, but the rest of the squad should not buy even a peep. If sounds could be bought.
It's called music.
Ah, yeah, true.
Well, who will be playing the violin tonight, I guess? Lunatic over on the A-bomb side could potentially, you know, get a bit more damage out of the AK, but largely going to be focusing on just saving this. This one should be a chill all round. Probably not the flash they wanted to throw.
Probably not. This Zorte flash will be a banger. Rager can basically do nothing to stop this. A stack over on the A-bomb site, and forZe have called the bluff. One smoke's not enough to deter them. It's about hunting down an extra, sort of surrounding them on the exit. One radius on Inferno expanded several patches ago, of course. So setting up for these exits and containing them into Banana is a good approach.
Good bomb shot though. That's something that people have been taking care of on the A-bomb side, but it does make a fair bit of a difference on B as well. In the corner where you will plant it.
Yeah, furthest away from...
Yeah.
That's true.
Meanwhile, money to be made, and Jerry is not a man to miss out on the dollars. Farming. An absolute agricultural warlord this man is.
Just like that, we're back to even Stevens, 3 and 3 a pop, and forZe will look to maintain control. We should see a reinvestment here from HONORIS, but expect head armor to be missed out on. A little surprised to see them jump away from the SMG. Full reinvestment, a full upgrade. I guess the MAC-10 did pay for itself, and so Jerry does bite the bullet.
Oh. No armor, that makes it even more deadly. Good nade, though, countering out. That's fantastic damage on the Zorte. Right at his feet, so he'll be down to 46, and as Banana control is given up, it's not without some good nades to follow through there as well. forZe have not even seen anyone, and they've still been chunked down to oblivion.
They've just been catching them. I think you're supposed to dodge. Don't know, Zorte was spotted. SaMey jumping across into library. Doesn't seem that wise to the idea. Zorte's just hoping that he gives him the peek, but now making steps himself. Apartments has been something that forZe have been able to attain control of in the early stages of a lot of these rounds since they've been on weapons. So the round in which I think Result took control, Jerry did it the following, and this time it was a double effort from forZe. So these nades are certainly some part of the adaptation here for HONORIS. They know that that is a territory that the Russians have demanded. And another slow work into the A-bomb site, and Jerry's going to try and phase the smoke in at Moto. SaMey's privy to the idea. They're really boxed in, and this actually allows access to CT spawn, something that they're going to try and make their move on, but with 20 seconds, this is a big risk.
This is so dangerous, especially when you consider that smoke will be dissipating, I think, right when they start to go forward. But, I mean, Reiko over here will be just a freebie. shalfey spots out the first, but he's fully blinded. He might have even been blinded by his own teammates, and although shalfey will get the kills in the end, he's nowhere near the bomb. I think that was a team flash. They didn't have any utility available on the CT side.
Yeah, I think so as well. And you could see just the fact that they were establishing that flank. There was a lack of urgency, I think, from shalfey to make his move through spawn, because it had to be something that was accounted for on HONORIS, and they were kind of checking for it, but their setup actually wasn't in a good place to deal with any sort of spawn pressures. So had that flash not been present, he probably deals with the plant player, and then all you have to worry about is new box, and that would probably be the round. But they were cutting it by fine margins. They were running down the clock so substantially that they couldn't afford anything to go wrong.
Fully flashed up, but there's still a player right behind. shalfey stands his ground. He will accept his death, but one which will not go unavenged. Result. He might have found the timing onto Taz. Taz is going to be backing off, making noise as well. Plenty off it. Result. An opportunity to right their wrongs from the previous round. Lunatic. Back to you, Faithless, and Taz, well, when a Molotov being chucked at to deny a plant that was never even happening, he just invites his own demise.
Yeah, and Result knows they're not going for it either. No steps, no noise, no rotations. And they're a little suspicious of the fact that it was as easy as this. Get 3 kills and plant the bomb. A nice round, all in all, here from forZe, trading 1 for 1 and then allowing KRAD to be let loose. Run rampant over the B bomb site. To save, and will instead offer up his life. SaMey, don't miss those. Just as quickly. HONORIS get to 4. forZe answer back. So he's, working his legs out.
You know what they say? Don't live a sedentary lifestyle. Get your 10,000 steps in a day, and that'll increase your lifespan by 10 years. Just heads up. Counter-Strike steps don't count, guys.
Wait, they don't?
Yeah, I know people are saying CS is life, and yeah, it is, but metaphorically.
Ever since they added game state integration, my watch tracks every step.
Man of technology. All the wrong kinds of technology. HONORIS, however, also have the wrong kinds of technology. The USBs, as advanced as they may be, aren't really the best tech to be taking forward into this round. Now, fortunately, they do have 2 rifles behind which they could try and make a play. SaMey's had some great shots as well, but he needs one early on this time.
Ooh, this time Sobol challenging the apartments. Being a problem area thus far.
Oh!
And that's a lovely shot from Reiko. It doesn't even have to be Sobol that addresses it. Everyone expecting. Oh, okay, well, never mind. They do. Result clearing for it, and so there will be a 1-for-1 exchanged. SaMey able to get away with his 1 AWP kill, and Result does give up the end of the apartments. He's the man with the bomb. Reiko recovers Taz. Well, he just simply distracts. That's the bomb. Second middle, and they have guns to collect.
Round's gone from certain to completely uncertain, and well, realistically, very difficult as well. Lunatic is the 1 kill you really don't care about giving up all too much, especially because it does give up information of where KRAD is, one of the few people who is still relatively unrevealed, and Taz coming in on the flank as well. They're going to have 2 players facing down versus Zorte getting ready to trade out, and with his AWP scope, I believe being audible inside the steps as well. SaMey knows exactly what to keep an eye out for. Flashbang as well behind zorte, and all he's got to try and do is save this AWP, an opportunity, and rather a venture, which seems to be unlikely to materialize.
This is the perfect round. I mean, HONORIS stacked the A side. They were aggressive with their maneuvers and put their pistols in a great position to succeed. They'll even get everybody at the end of the round. AWP for SaMey will maintain. And they survive with just as many as they brought in. Just picture perfect, considering that wasn't a round we were expecting HONORIS to win. Now forZe down in the dumps. Investing everything they can. Result on a Galil, but lacking funds for a future investment. HONORIS can gain some distance here.
SaMey's trapped in between the Molotov. Doesn't want to use his smoke just quite yet, but he's just lucky that there aren't any more grenades coming in from the T side. Now, in the meanwhile, they have crossed all the way up into deep in the middle. They've called for the faster play to come through. Full archers wrap being lined up and prepped up as well. Taz has got a smoke that could act as a bit of a one-way, but the problem is he's being wrapped in on either side. It has to be Lunatic to do so much heavy lifting, but on the reload can't prevent the cross in at all. Sobol still behind the smoke. Taz has been immediately taken down. Reiko's been able to frag in, but Sobol's demise makes it so none of the players in the A1 side have done anything. Reiko on the rotate, good for a few more. That delayed smoke is going to be oh so precarious now, especially with the gap inside it as well.
Just one around they weren't supposed to, and so they've got some floating funds. HONORIS may still go for this. Shalfey surviving on 1 HP. I mean, not everybody is healthy here for forZe. Barely over 100 HP between the three of them, but yeah, all the utility that they're deploying, it's enough to send them packing. Went around on pistols and saved weapons, only to be answered back on a full gun round. This was HONORIS' chance to get some distance. forZe are right on their tail. And just a very, very simple goal. All that pressure that was mounting over at B, because SaMey was trapped by the Molotov, I think it kept the extra player, the one that's supposed to sort of rotate back and reset over at A, kept him there for a little bit longer just in case SaMey did get overwhelmed or naded. But because of that, forZe were able to make their way up the arches relatively uncontested. One of those awkward decision trees that isn't really rehearsed sort of protocol-wise.
Chai wants to speed up Banana this time over, and that'll be making things awkward once again. They are continually prioritizing having 3 players fighting out from Banana without actually revealing those 3 players early on. Flashes it good. Reiko around the corner is going to be overrun by the Mach 10, and although there is the force back from KRAD, he just takes some damage peppered into him before he's forced to simply suffice with map control that he will gain.
Big player to find as well. Reiko and SaMey have been very influential figures here for HONORIS on the CT side. See how Taz and Lunatic do. 2 older gents here for HONORIS. But they showed us some cool tricks on Ancient. But nothing new about this. Just chaining smokes and buying time. forZe are primed and in position for a total B site hit.
I have so much utility as well for this. This is going to be so difficult. Right? This fight into them. Lunatic's fully blind. They're hoping that Taz goes by unchecked, but KRAD is very thorough in his angle clearing, and Taz is clearing and cleared out. HONORIS have got no choice but to save on these last 2 players. They did find some good rounds off the back of 2 rifles before as well, but now it is getting to the last vestiges of the half, and if forZe is just able to clean up 1 more, they start to run away with this T side.
Yeah, that flash that zorte is throwing just completely dismantles the setup there for HONORIS.
Yeah.
They were ready to fight around the back side of that smoke. So Lunatic just out in the open, and I think Taz thought he got away, but he was partly blind, and KRAD spotted him. You know, he tried to spray transfer up towards top oranges. So Taz was a dead man walking. That 1 flash is all they need to crack in. Game is going a little back and forth. You like to see it. forZe being run through their paces. They're having to work pretty hard for these rounds. Haven't been able to survive with all 5 on the attack. And HONORIS have made some good adaptations. You know, they were losing apartments control pretty consistently in the opening stages of this half, but now have been a bit more assertive. You know, even this round, they played a double apartment setup in spite of the 3B start. It's all about which side of the map they decide is more important at the start. forZe this time B.
Oh.
SaMey, lovely boost. This is a 4-man start over on the A side, and that boost can sometimes just be pulled out between 3 of them. Result is going to be home. There's so many players nearby, but just not on that angle.
Cool barrel spam. I've seen that one before.
Yeah, it's for the AWPer that sits on the That's the default. Oh, flash clear there from shalfey, but 1 for 1. Nobody to trade it. 3 on 4, and SaMey repositioned perfectly right into the result. You'll find another kill, and KRAD cannot select on a trade. Oh, SaMey kind of sticking around. Maybe punished for his actions. Made does some damage, but SaMey won't stick. There's a gap. If KRAD reroutes B, there is a real chance here.
I think so, but the problem is rerouting doesn't seem to be coming in anytime soon. Zorte gets the first kill, and the problem is that they don't know where KRAD is. So until he throws his flashbang, there is no reason to believe he hasn't rerouted B, especially with now, I think steps might have gone over. He does have time to hightail it to B if he runs right now, but the longer he keeps on walking, the more difficult it's going to be. And now, yeah, it seems to be nearly impossible. Zorte will find the kill. 15 seconds. Oh my god, this is going to be done in time, but he'll have the plant for break over here if he can just find the first kill. Zorte misses his shots as well, but he will be able to recover, and KRAD right at the nick of time does recover the round. SaMey has no intention of trying to go for it.
Jesus. They're really playing on fine margins, huh? If not for the fact that, Lunatic vacates the B bomb site and is sort of quick to his rotation on A. You know, they make presence. Both players, they knew exactly where they were, and he's just trying to get involved and make sure he's on the right site. But because he makes that swift rotation, suddenly forZe had access to B. That was the only way they made this round work. That's ridiculous. What an effort from zorte to pick off all 3 as well.
Terrorists win.
And forZe, I have to say, I'm so impressed by whenever, KRAD or Jerry are alive, and I know this is supposed to be their role to some extent, but they just refine their communications down to a T, right? Like the timing on those flashbangs, just making sure that KRAD knows exactly how long he has to stay. He's checking the last few angles as well, despite some... I won't lie, I was worried about that. I thought maybe he should just be hightailing it back to B-bomb stuff, because obviously have the benefit of information as well. But it is very impressive to see. The fact that they get to that situation, it's impressive. That's more on HONORIS.
Yeah, let's not keep digging out of these holes, huh?
Yeah. I get it. You've got a great shovel, but try not to use it. Eventually it might end up being your grave.
Yeah, it might wear out as well.
Brackets control is different by the kind of numbers that are available for the CT side, but Molotov is great, and now as soon as they start to commit through the grenades, the utility, they're all caught with their pants down. zorte as well, forced back by the molly. Result hoping to find something, and that wouldn't be a bullet to the gut. Instead, sometimes he doesn't get to choose.
Another 4-on-2. This time KRAD's got room over at B. If he finds this kill on SaMey, the round flips on its head, but no. Lunatic has pushed down middle, and zorte didn't move a muscle. Was letting KRAD run his operation. Taz considers it, spots the head of zorte. Molotov will force him into a duel. Taz won't lose it. So this round could have taken a number of twists and turns. We saw a 4-on-2 conceded last time from HONORIS. They won't let lightning strike twice.
I have to say, I'm so impressed by the fact that HONORIS has been able to maintain this form on, some of these players. Reiko and SaMey, obviously, you mentioned them earlier on, have just been completely teeing off. And this is without SaMey even having, some sort of crazy peaks down banana or anything of those sort. We've seen some boosts, we've seen some shots in middle, but nothing where he's getting hyper aggressive in a way that seems unsustainable. That makes it even more impressive.
He's been punished a couple of times this series already, just by, I think, sticking around. Even in that 4-on-2, he almost gave up his life in the apartments. That could have been a little awkward. Lunatic trying to dodge flash, but almost allowed enough room to then front onto Sobol. And he'll try and use the Molotov to his advantage. It's damage, but no kill. 4-on-4. And forZe will want to be able to keep at least a few more of these players alive. Like you said, bailing out of 2-on-4s is obviously not the ideal. If they flash for the peak, SaMey is out in the open with that ult.
Does have a full water utility behind him though. KRAD side the rest of his team is very, very far apart. This Molotov down makes it so SaMey's completely defended. Reiko's rotation might be a bit too early though, and that's something that can be punished over here as he starts to move back to arches to try and cover it off. It's once again Jerry looking to find some real estate in, and he does get the timing. Remember, he's got himself that Tech 9 close range will be just a one-shot headshot, and that's exactly what he uses to eliminate Reiko. But still, time's not looking good, and the bomb's been dropped in the back through the smoke. Taz, shot to the head and a flashbang through, but they don't realize there's two players ready and waiting. Jerry, however, eliminates one of them. Taz, also, presence known, but good shot from him as he keeps himself alive. It's all down to shalfey, a 1-on-2. Not the best of halves so far, but a chance to redeem. A chance that he has to capitalize on here and now. Spots out the first, knows the second, goes for Taz first, but the grenade is too much. It's too much.
Wow. Lovely stuff there from SaMey as well, trying to distract to give more room there for Taz, but utility is what does him in the end. We're neck and neck, and now last round of the half, there is enough to squeak out a few rifles here for forZe, but this could be enough of a recovery for HONORIS. You know, a lot of maps have gone more T-sided. Inferno already was one that was kind of on the cusp prior to the A1S, and now we're right back into the swing of things. You know, 50, I think it's, last I checked, it was like 52% for T sides. Of course, that's over a large sample size. Sometimes they're very dominant CT halves, sometimes they're very dominant T halves.
Also, I do think that the data is slightly biased anyway, because teams picking a map will always start on the T side with the modern day.
Of course.
So 52% seems pretty much like 50-50 to me.
But even in the height of the A1S meta, you know, you would still, I think the stats were skewed to like CT side 54% or something like that. So it was kind of rough. Glad the A1S is nerfed. You gotta work extra hard for it. Last round of this half, and HONORIS have been put through a lot of ups and downs, as have forZe. Game has taken its twists and turns. Standing his ground will make sure that they do not turn the other cheek. Double headshots, but finally traded. Result took a lot of damage for that exchange, and they are very quick-footed on the rotates. Only man they'll leave over at A is Sobol, but forZe are committing.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to commit with anymore. They've lost out most of their life on Result, so leading the entry path can be difficult. Spawn will find them one, and a lot of time to work off of, so SaMey has to be careful in Coffin. He won't actually have any windows to push forward, so he's lost his teammate already. SaMey's all alone. He has to defend his bomb site, knows it as well, but a missed shot rare as Hen's teeth. But he will end up choking down on it nonetheless. forZe, this should never have been a round they had a chance in, but maybe they still might not. Sobol hoping to recover. A 1-on-3 turn to 2, but still moving past as he goes forward, makes noise as well. Secondary flashbang thrown in. The flank likely to be activated soon by shalfey as he starts to move in. Deep Molotov. Sobol expecting that exact same thing, but with a Molotov that is burning away, shalfey knows he's got all the time in the world. They bring it back from the 3-on-5 up to 8, and forZe will take the half, but can they take the game? Find out after this short break. Right back into things, forZe. Some magical calls helping them out in what? 2v5s, 2v4s, 3v5s, and all the disadvantages. But the question is, can they do it on the CT side?
Yeah, that last round of the half, I mean, I had to hold my tongue. I was about to scream because the calling was delicious. It was great. Really, I'm sure forZe are happy with how they've recovered some of these rounds, but can they actually get into round-winning positions? Fuck them off. Result has a plan, and that plan is to face them all and take one right before them. They can do anything to stop the man.
He's been good in pistols.
Oh, yeah. Wonder if the CT side is where he comes alive.
If you're a fan of HONORIS, you are hoping that will not be the case. Obviously, SaMey goes down early on, 16 and 5 in that first half. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous performance coming out from him. Something that'll be hard to replicate over here on this T side as an opper, but Lunatic's already met his demise. shalfey wants to keep on fighting. Flashes are good, and Jerry will find nothing. Sobol, good for the double. Zorte, in the meanwhile, will be cleaning up any presence left on mid, and now it's all down to the bomb plant. Sobol will be able to at least guarantee that extra bit of money. And with the smoke down on the bomb side, that will be a fadeaway guaranteed. It's a one-way for himself as well. Reiko, this is very tricky. If he's able to get one more, Sobol's got a real chance in it, but the one-way is going to be fading very soon. They do not have a kit, so they're still in a rush. That rush, however, will be met through. They can't find this bomb. Will they have it? Yes, they do.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they were fine. I think it was always going to be a forZe defuse there as soon as Sobol died. I mean, a great effort. You know, almost kind of pulls back. You had a pretty rough go of things on that CT side, in with 3 kills in that pistol round, in spite of them starting a man down, and able to take so much room and allow the plant. This could be a call to go for some kind of investment here on HONORIS, but have to see where their heads are at. Yeah, they're actually going to go for it. Sobol committing to a full AK. Rest of the team won't join him. Hero AK. Okay. This is not super uncommon. I didn't think HONORIS were going to take this plunge. But theory being he has a rifle, you can maybe influence this round, and then in the next they have 4 rifles that they can pull out. Should anyone die, I'm sure Sobol will sweep it up. That's all the theory. They're going to actually deal with the 4s ahead of them.
Well, Sobol will be good for the first one, so yeah, maybe the theory is being put into practice. Other things will be coming over as well. There is very little utility going in for them, but Lunatic's demise is going to make things a bit more tricky. CTs decide to maintain more presence on this A bomb set, and that's going to be beneficial as HONORIS are looking to re-navigate at least partially.
Another kill there for Sobol. This AK is paying off. Zorte can find a kill in response. Nade as well might finish Sobol off, but he's able to duck away in time. He's beat in the knees, and KRAD will drop the bomb at his feet. Now, Kaz trying to make a quick transition through spawn, but will not succeed. So it's hairy, it's a little dicey, but eventually forZe sweep up all the rest of those pistols.
It's decent damage, but it does feel like HONORIS, the difference between them and forZe is that whenever you saw forZe get a kill, even hell, get killed and just get information around that 120 mark, the adjustment would be there every time. And this is a criticism we had on Ancient as well, right? Which is that the call doesn't always seem to change on the T side. So that's something I'm really going to be looking forward towards in their gun rounds and seeing how they can manage to make that materialize over here, because obviously Inferno's all about adaptation in the mid round. Always has been, always will be.
Sometimes some of those adaptations will come out in the early portions. We saw one for example. This is a nice precedent to set though. forZe in their face. Jerry, deep play over towards Banana, finds a Reiko that was already weak. They'll start. Jerry's not healthy either, but KRAD will take his place and find his one. Both these B players are softened up. The fact they've not been able to collect on the kills leaves HONORIS wanting.
Taz. Oh, doesn't spot him out behind the smoke of the Molotov. Taz will be going down, and yeah. I mean, as low as KRAD and Jerry might be, I just feel like HONORIS doesn't quite have the same spunk in 2v4s and 2v5s, but maybe with the 45 seconds they have left, there's still some work to be done. If nothing else, could at least look to weaken the knees or the wallets of forZe.
Jerry's allowed access for a wrap, and Zorte is in a really bad position to deal with that. No one's considering it because Jerry picked it up late.
Could be a window for them. Zorte is also going to be going down soon. SaMey. Oh, this is where he was spotted out by Zorte. Oh, there's SaMey! What? The shot of his life, I'd like to say, but he's been hitting those all game long. 2 versus 3, and I'm going to be forced to eat my words. Possibilities are opened up. They've got a smoke. They've got 3 flashes, now 2. Going to be so difficult to actually scale back onto the bomb site with the smoke down on Moto. They're going to be funneling in through short, and a double pit setup is the perfect move to try and make quick work of it. You've even got the flashes necessary. SaMey has got Sobol playing out in an exposed position. Sobol misses out the first opportunity. SaMey has revealed himself as well. Sobol is down and out, but remember, the bomb needs to be defused, and soon they've managed to work the clock. I think he's got it. SaMey, he's won them the round already. He's effectively aced them.
Oh my goodness. What a blunder. Massive mistake there from forZe to have a 5-on-2?
Yep.
But, I mean, really well done. You know, taking space, you know, they separated, they went for this wrapping play, and SaMey does so much work to immediately break open that A site. But that setup, you know, Jerry was low HP. I don't know why he's prioritizing his life over maintaining information over on A. A massive ball to be dropped, and a way back in here for HONORIS, because they lost rounds just like it on their CT side as well.
Well, Jerry doesn't want to be like letting go of the pedal just because they lose out on a should have been their round. They had a setup for him, but still good damage onto Lunatic. zorte. Eagle at the ready.
Uh-oh.
Oh, stunning. Already here, resource position as well. It's just so damn precarious. The boost that is being attempted to set up as well has come and met with so much resistance. Sobol is low. Both Sobol and Lunatic are so close to being just shut down by the pistols. SaMey will once again have to be their hero. Smoke down, and the bomb site and the map is just getting smaller and smaller for them. Man in from behind as well. Zorte's got another shot. SaMey's down. That's a healthy player as well. But now it's all down to Result. He is the only one who can make this happen. Mac 10 could be deadly. Galil, however, is going to be his weapon of choice. A crossfire that's being set up perfectly, but one where both players can be isolated if Result is convinced enough of wanting to move forward, but just doesn't check that deep first orange's corner.
Yeah, lovely off angle there from Lunatic, even in that post plant. He was tagged up from an earlier duel, but put himself in a position to catch Result off guard. That looked like that setup was going to work there for forZe. They had the majority of their players over on that B bomb site, just constantly trading places. After Zorte got the deagle kill, I thought HONORIS were in for a real bout of trouble, but they're still in it, and can tie up this game. Only USPs, singular flash in Zorte's belt. Flash is great. Sobol and Taz will still collect on the kills they needed to. Taz gets overwhelmed, but yeah, I don't think there's any real way back in here for forZe. HONORIS to 10, and you know, they're showing you some of that spunk, you know, the grit that's necessary to win some of these rounds here on Inferno, because it has been grimy.
shouldn't really be able to
knife.
I mean, that would be the best case scenario. But, you know,
Oh.
with a hyperactive Mac 10 running around in front of you, going for the
lunge
knife is hardly they're going to be likely. Good for one. Honestly, could have been a knife across the balcony. I feel like that would have been even more fun. But unfortunately, that might be a bit too gung-ho.
Yeah, nobody was going to clear that, I don't think. Maybe Sobol after he cleared pit and thought, huh, there's nobody here. You know, re-attention to short or something of the like. It's all good. There are no knives, only another kill there for forZe. But 2 is all they'll get, and no rifles to be saved over into the follow-up round. There will be an investment, but they'll have to skimp out on utility if they want premium rifles. Oh, we've kind of traded places.
Yeah.
On banana control in particular. You know, forZe has shown some good starts in that area, but HONORIS with their slow work, sometimes later into the round, very successful. These on B. forZe haven't been able to stop it. We start just throwing over util was zorte. Causing to play a little bit more fearlessly.
They're using all of their Molotovs early on, and obviously they don't have as many of those because you have gone for the full M4 prioritization. But the more I look at this, the more, if you're 4, is that 5 versus 2 is going to bite every single round that you end up losing out after that, because, you know, that's been the turning point. And as much as, you know, I praise Jerry for ability to adapt, ability to change, mental fortitude, etc., etc., I don't think that's necessarily always been true for the remainder of these players. And it's very much going to be up between Jerry and KRAD to be able to keep them over in place. But now, B-bomb slant hit looks to be coming in, and with no utility to really speak of, this grenade is going to be incredibly important. Great shot to come through as KRAD will find Reiko in the meanwhile, but Lunatic's entry onto the bomb site is fantastic. Jerry waits for the bomb to be planted, and as soon as it is, will just push up. Good to deny and good to set up zorte for maybe some more, but Sobol's lurk has been so successful. Will continue to find success, and now 2 on the A-bomb site means zorte's got nowhere to go but forward, and HONORIS, you could say the same about them, finding a lead once again.
Yeah, just excellent work. I'm surprised as well. You know, SaMey, some really nice shooting on the rifle, has been kind of tearing it up on the AWP, but even on some of these entries and just frags that aren't going to escape him when, you know, 4s are going for some risky plays. Just as quick on the trigger as anyone else for the HONORIS side, and that's been a massive benefit for them so far this map. Sobol going into that lower bracket. End up in a position where we trade map picks here in this series. This time they won't even contest banana, not having the utility to do so. 3 players at B for forZe, and you know, gotta hand it to HONORIS. You know, establishing banana control and taking over the apartments. You know, when 4s were on the T side, they were picking one or the other. But if you can establish this much territory in the early round with a fairly limited investment, you know, Sobol did it on the last gun round as well.
Yeah.
Then you're in prime position to strike on the T side. You know, usually we say take banana control, reset, brackets, you know, force them back from one territory to the other. But if they maintain both, then 4s are kind of left with no information.
Sobol on the creep through has found so much space here that he'll be able to assuage any a stack or something off the lines as soon as he gets onto the bomb site. Bomb can be planted safely, and they have managed to avoid the pitfall of potentially losing out to an anti-halfway. As long as HONORIS just maintains and makes sure that they're not giving up advantages like the one they have right now, for example, it feels like Inferno should just be their map, looking completely different to the signs we saw from Ancient. Honestly, if someone told me that the picks were reversed, I would believe them.
Yeah. No, I think just very, very well thought out, very methodical, not jumping the gun. You know, I would argue, you know, even in spite of the good showing we saw from forZe on their T side, they left a lot up to late round, you know, bailouts and choices. It was scary some of the plots they went for, put it that way. HONORIS working together as a pack.
That 5-man deathball style is really paying off whenever they decide to accumulate. Much better on the default this time over. Not quite the same as what we saw in Ancient, right? Where it spawned into deathball. It's very much default. Get that space that you mentioned about earlier on as well. Back off, chill out, let forZe make a mistake somewhere in the middle, and then deathball.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what's going to be the change? Have they decided that Sobol cannot stay alive?
Is that how it was decided?
Let's
see. Well, the answer is resolve for now, but Jerry just caught out completely off guard. RYKO will be traded if they can just connect one bullet, and finally, KRAD will do just that, but in doing so, I believe that might have revealed the position for shalfey if that utility was spotted out earlier on. RYKO, of course, was blinded out for a lot of that exchange, either by a smoke or by a flashbang, so not the best of situations, but in the meanwhile, Result as well is just holding on and waiting for a Sobol. Zorte has to make sure he doesn't just get flashed off. The flash will be blinding him for now and will not connect, but Sobol's gone. Resolt's added another. Bomb's been dropped, and now it's time for him to fade. The flashbang will force him into the boiler room, but only one of them in pursuit. That's Taz. And he's going to find nothing. Not even information. Shalfey on the sideline will also sideline SaMey. And with that, forZe right back to winning ways, but still not equalized yet.
Yeah, exactly what you wanted to see from forZe, an adaptation into the apartment. Sobol was such an influential figure in terms of establishing territory and options for HONORIS. You know, they lose one player over at B, going 1-for-1 in that exchange, and they try and reset. They try and take brackets, you know, get through apartments like they have in a number of rounds prior. And this time there was a setup that was meant to address that kind of an issue. So, good adaptation on the CT side. forZe are, once again, within touching distance. Some money built up for HONORIS should allow another buy to be taken. So, trying to push through the smoke and right in through the gap. Jerry will capitalize. Zorte even out in the open through middle. To collect. But Jerry trying to escape from Banana. Very loud about his presence. The spam from Lunatic right on the money.
Oh, SaMey!
Oh, God.
Destroys KRAD. The punishment for something as egregious as a jumpy when you are the solo player should not be quite as violent, quite as vicious, quite as swift. But hey, when SaMey's on the other side, turns out it is.
It looked so safe to do that as well from his perspective. You know, we're watching KRAD. You know, he's kind of maybe laughing or chuckling at the idea of like, oh, this AK has just ran at me. Oh wait, I have an AK in my hands anyway. Let's just check how Banana's doing, and dead. That happened in the blink of an eye, and so forZe, as soon as they lost KRAD, they were ready cold to save. They didn't move a muscle away from A. They knew it was a done deal. SaMey has been so impactful for
Absolutely.
HONORIS.
He's been the guy for that.
Yeah.
I was
You know,
certain.
took the CT side from on Ancient before we saw him be that guy.
Yeah, and that's why I was certain that the CT side was the only place we're going to see him perform on this. But it's completely different. His rifle, his op, T side's just been a blessing. Absolute blessing to the team. I'll just have to go back to the 2v5, right? Where he effectively aces them. 4 kills plus the kill to the bomb, which I count that.
No, I think you're right too. Played his life, they didn't have time. Doesn't do that, maybe they do. A discussion being had. They have enough to reinvest. It's not about the money. I could have even got Jerry on a rifle, really. But they decided to go with this, floating enough cash that they should be able to reinvest the follow-up round as well, but I think they're hoping they don't just concede this one as well. HONORIS at 13 and inching their way to a finish here on Inferno. Last map in the pool would be Mirage, and it's a necessity that HONORIS win this map if we want to get there.
So aggressive SaMey is gone! Superman has been found out and shut down.
Yeah, super risky play to go for. SaMey, I think, was holding for that, but pulled utility because his teammates were coming up through second middle, hoping that the ult was posted on him, or on them rather, second mid, but being taken, and a man advantage that should be maintained. Still a 2-3 split between the two sites. Probably the most uncontested top banana has been in the past couple rounds. See how suspicious they are that it's quiet.
They don't have a flashbang to help Jerry. Again, this is a similar position as what we saw, but he's really relying on catching them with utility in their hands. They don't check it for the first, they don't check it for the second. Jerry and Zorte have combined up for the kills necessary. KRAD's consistently been here as well, but what a peek from Taz. Completely overruns him with an added verticality. And over here, the spam is good, but Taz is alive, left with 1 HP and 3 players to try and contend with. Surely this isn't a round where he's got a chance in, but maybe he can find a few more kills. Just make it expensive. An expense that will not be tallied, will not be added to the debit sheet.
Yeah, nice try there from Taz to recover that, but ultimately too heavy a burden for that round. You know, worst part about Jerry being at the sandbags and not being cleared, you know, it isn't the fact that he only gets 1 kill. You know, he could have been teed up for 2. Zorte actually stole 1 kill away from him. You know, he just shot a blind shot through the smoke, and it connected, and I think it really threw Jerry off. Just sort of target acquired and locking in on a couple of players, and then suddenly one was swiped away from him.
Zorte's taken it into his own hands. He's seen the impact that SaMey's been getting, and he's decided that it is time for him to shine. And I can't blame them for it. They've not been finding success in any other way in an early round situation.
Plan for here from forZe. They want to smoke off T steps and maybe get a little bit more assertive with anyone committed to mid control. But once that smoke was missed, Jerry just called it quits. Again, they're running off of very limited information on the forZe side. They're trying to count util where they can, and once again they will concede a bit of territory over towards Banana, but Jerry actually hovering around the back of that smoke is very dangerous. Damage done, and finding Lunatic straight through. There's no chance to trade. These risks, giving forZe the edge. Now back-to-back rounds where it's paid off. B setup. Zorte once again will spam straight through that smoke, hoping that they don't account for an extra player here.
Waiting, knows that the execution will be coming over soon. Flashbang used up, he's forced off. KRAD and Jerry, however, still have got so much more backup here. forZe look like they will be untouchable on the bomb side. Zorte reveals his position, and Sobol, the lurk, who has gone by and done so much damage to them consistently, has now been completely snuffed out. Rather sniffed out. Soon snuffed out as well.
Lovely, simple hold there from forZe, and it you know, part of it's instigated by finding a man advantage. HONORIS don't feel as comfortable to reset. Wonder if they'll go back to allowing Sobol all that room to establish the lurk. They have to, since those rounds of influence, you know, it's been a bit more brute force and playing together on the HONORIS side instead of this more spread default that they had actually found success in. Very quick through middle. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Zorte, however, does back off. Will he be able to fade away? Yes, Shalfey's here to provide the necessary assistance. Zorte will not be giving up his life haphazardly. Ooh, Molotov, though. That's fire on himself. It's a lot of extra damage. Shalfey able to adjust his spam in time, and Zorte will cover. Defense on defense being played between these two, and the pinball machine might as well be broken, but at least they've dropped the bomb.
This round is so ridiculous from his point of view. He would never wanted to make that play, but he was forced to. Chance, Reiko, secondary kills through far 3 in the round, and back down to 2-on-2. They know they've got the ball over it long, but they are instead clustering up, and Reiko's knocking every single one of them down. Smoke that's right at Jerry's feet, has to try and play this bomb, but could get wrapped at any point. SaMey's not committing to it. They play patient, they play cool.
I don't think they know Jerry's here either. And remember, he's generally been the B-sided player, so he could be coming in through middle. That's why SaMey's so worried. And with 30 seconds left, God, Jerry as well. He's just overthinking into it. That's the problem with massive heads. Sometimes they just work overtime. 18 seconds. They do have time to maybe think about going back to the B bomb set, but in case they do, then no, never mind. It will be. That's when Jerry's just overrun Reiko with a full ace. How many times are we going to see this come through? Reiko this time, SaMey before. They just have savior on savior on savior. forZe, where are your 2v4s? We're just going to 5k you.
That is ridiculous. What, that's a 2-on-4 after the bomb is dropped at their feet. That's not a full investment round. You know, they came in with pistols predominantly, but Reiko just takes matters into his own hands. And I like the call to slow down. I was surprised they were going to play it as slow as they did, but ends up panning out very, very well for themselves. Forward, enough money to reinvest, and so they once again establish control deep, and that's the reward for getting an ace the last round. Shot straight through the smoke. Counter-Strike really is a game of highs and lows.
And that's it. Sobol's about as fun to put it as can be. Flashbang forward. Molotov still got some space left on it. Resort needs to find his kills, and the double peek too much. Taz will just take him down with a great aim duel, and Shalfey caught out. Zorte's got to put up a show. Knows Taz is behind as well, especially more so now that the bullets have been fired off. No rotation, not anywhere close by. KRAD's far away, and SaMey will punish HONORIS. That is the 15th they have just found. KRAD and Jerry will not contest this, especially with the utility raining down on them.
Right there, right at the necessary finishing line here for HONORIS. Just a nice pacey play, and forZe could do nothing. 2 saved weapons should be enough for them to get another bye together, but now they can afford no more mistakes. I'm surprised. You know, we go from one half where there's 2-on-5s, 3-on-5s. Now we've had the exact same story here for HONORIS on these T-side recovery rounds. It has not been pretty. You know, the recovery's pretty, sure, but the circumstances in which they get to those positions, it has been all over the shop. But in the chaos, both teams have found success. It's just seeming like HONORIS, the fact that they are so much closer, you know, guaranteed at least OT. Instead, Molly smoked down. Once again, they'll put Gary on the half wall and establish deep control. He will try for the spam again. I thought he would. On A1S this time over. Just a burst, and they'll disperse.
Look at this angle taken out from Zorte. It's just the only way they feel like they can contest Sobol is just by having an op over to cover off apartments in the apartments cross. Whenever they've had deeper brackets presence, except for one round, which was one of the first that they managed to find after Sobol's getting up to shenanigans, they just lose the duels. They just make a mistake. They just get flashed, volleyed, whatever it is. They just lose that back and forth. Players in it. KRAD again found out in his quest to protect the B bomb site. And Jerry, sure, he's good for one, but he's going to be boxed in soon. He needs to spam. He needs the help. He needs something, but it's never going to be delivered. Resort waiting for a flashbang forward. Only good for the one. SaMey's blind, but he's still deadly. That's the last piece of utility thrown forward. They don't have kits. They've only got shalfey. Players low on the other side. That's SaMey, but low or not, he will continue to fight. SaMey brought down by the wall bang. Now a one-on-one. Zorte knows where the player is. Repositioned back over. AK recovered, but the bomb is ticked down too low, and even if he hadn't been without a kit, Zorte would not have had a chance. Lunatic just completely outguns him, and that is HONORIS bringing it back with 2 aces in that game as well, effectively, Michael. This was nuts. I can't believe that forZe let that one go.
Yeah, I was surprised that this game ended up being as close as it was, because I thought after the rounds that forZe had on their T side, it would just be too much of a barrier, but instead they had a barrier themselves.